know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Open my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crush all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm all in now. Lost my mind to this guppies and rebel now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crush all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm all in now. Lost my mind to these guppies and rebel now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crush all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm all in now. Lost my mind to these guppies and rebel now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's inseparable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's inseparable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember.
Yo, what's good, everybody? We're back with another Music Monday on this Monday, man. Y'all smash that like button, sub up to the channel if you're new and if you haven't done so already. Of course, y'all know my name is Jeremy Jones. What I normally do is make content about sneakers, occasional try-on hauls, and y'all know this is Music Monday, where we just kind of take a break from sneakers, man. But if you don't want to take a break, definitely sign up for that sold out Discord. The link is pinned at the top of the chat, and it's free to sign up. Where, of course, we continue the sneaker talk around the clock, but we also have a music section, a sports section, a food section, and ironically, man, off mode but on mode. Today is probably one of my favorite days of all time, or I guess you can say holidays, if we want to call it that, like an unofficial holiday. And I'm talking none other than Cinco de Mayo, man. I've already had my taco fix for today, but it's kind of one of those, man. Back in the day, I really used to hit and bar hop every last like Mexican restaurant in the area that I was in at the time, man. So salutes to Cinco de Mayo as well. If people are out celebrating that, I really respect that as well. But again, man, y'all seen what the kid already posted in there. So hopefully audio and visual is okay for you guys right here. As you guys come in and out, y'all definitely smash that like button and sub to the channel, man. But tonight, man, I'm going to keep it pretty simple because we do have the playoffs going on and looks like it's the Knicks versus the Celtics tonight. So the kid has already kind of got it on his TV. So I know by the time I get off live, I'll probably have to do a little bit of catch up, man. So we'll see how it goes. For the people who do watch sports, I completely understand that as well. So tonight's topic, man, looks like Diddy trial has started and what you need to know. So I think they've been doing jury selection for Diddy's trial. And if I'm not mistaken, man, he's pulled up with 8 different attorneys on his side. So I mean, like, the guy is, to be fair, in for the fight of his life, and it really shows that he really cares. I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but if anybody got a shot of getting a favorable outcome, it's him. Because anybody else in that situation, it may be a different ball game. But Diddy, obviously he's. Let me put it this way, man. As much as people hate on Diddy, he didn't get where he at because he doesn't have this. He's not smart. He didn't get there because he's not smart. So he's got the best people surrounding him that can help him in that situation. So we're going to be talking an update on the Diddy trial as it starts. Because at the end of the day, Diddy did get offered a plea deal, and he turned it down. You know what I'm saying? And to keep 100, if you're not guilty of any of the stuff that they're accusing you of, then you shouldn't plead guilty. Point blank, period. We could take it back to the YSL trial for Young Thug. Look at those guys. They got off. Even his attorney, Brian Steele, which is apparently working the Diddy case, by the way, FYI, he even said that he wished Thug would have held out a little bit longer. But also, I understand where Thug is coming from. You didn't know, you know what I mean? And to be honest, the case was built and surrounded by Thug. So a lot of that Thug felt that he went on and just, if he knew he could come home, he was coming home. You know what I'm saying? And now he has to walk a tightrope, and it feels like he has been, you know what I mean? He's been dropping songs here and there, but he's been keeping quiet too, which I'm assuming he's back there working, man. But it ain't about Thug tonight. We're talking Diddy, and then we got an update on Lil Durk's case as well. We're going to be talking about that. And then also Dame Dash could be facing some jail time. So I think how I'm going to go in the flow of the live tonight, I'm going to start with Dame Dash. Then we're going to go to Smirk, a.k.a. Lil Durk. And then we'll close out with Diddy because you know me, when I get on the Diddy topic, dog, pause, I could probably do the live the whole hour on Diddy alone. Pause, because that does not sound right given all the cases and stuff that he's facing. So I'm going to start with the smaller ones real quick, and then we'll roll up to Diddy's, right? Pause. Let me see what we got in the building. But like I said, tonight's topic, man, pretty much break it down. Dame Dash could be facing jail time. We're going to talk a little bit of update on Durk, and then we'll be talking the Diddy trial to close out. I'll probably give Diddy's trial probably the whole 20 minutes, but we'll probably go there. Let me see what we got in the building real quick. As y'all commenting out, smash that like button for the kid, and happy Cinco de Mayo if you're celebrating. To me, in a perfect world, I'd rather be smashing on some tacos and watching the game, which safe to say the kid probably will be doing that after the live, right? Let's see what I got in the building real quick. It says Timothy Aston's in the building, says 100. What up, Timothy? What up? Let's see. Long Beach says salute and respect to Polo in the chat. What up, Long Beach? What up? Let's see. Diddy's trial is going to be crazy. Most definitely. And as it should be. I mean, to be honest, he's in for the fight of his life. And you gotta, go in. But my thing with the Diddy situation, and I'm gonna close it out. I'm gonna go in last 20 minutes. But my thing with the Diddy situation, dog, this is the first time I will say this, and it may not be the only time, but to the best of my knowledge, and if it has, it's probably been a while where Diddy's in the RICO trial, by himself. You know what I'm saying? It's just him. You know what I'm saying? Look at Thug. It was what? 30, 40 people, and half of them, majority of them took plea deals, and then 5 of them took it to trial. 4 or 5 took it to trial with Thug. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Totally different ball game when the RICO joint is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's definitely going to be crazy. Look like we have no hype in the building with the salute. What up, no hype? What up? Y'all smash that like button as y'all coming in and out. And let's see, we got Manny with the kicks in the building. Says, yerp. And then Manny says Celtics in 5. He says Joe Jetson 85. Salute. This is my whole thing on the game situation, right? Because I was watching the pre-talks with Shaq and Charles Barkley and them, right? Okay. And Charles Barkley seems is going to be a sweep, right? Okay, for the Celtics. Little quick sports talk real quick before we go in here, because I got to get this off my chest too, because this is my thing. I was looking at the lineup tonight. That's really right before I sat down and hit go live, right before I put the camera on me. I was literally just right in front of my TV. So this is my thing. This is where I feel where the Knicks is going to have the problem, right? Because they barely beat the previous team, right? And we're going to keep it 100. They beat them, but at the same time, it feels like Celtics them have a powerhouse over there, right? It's no one man can beat 5 plus, 7 plus good players that the Celtics have, and we can go down the rabbit hole on that, but we're not going to go there. But I say all that to say is Bronson, like Jalen Bronson, he's great and he's got it. He's got the will. Is the rest of the team members finna show up? Because Celtics, and I'm not even a Celtics fan, but watching their game, they can shoot that ball from anywhere on the court whenever they want to. And we're going to keep it real. Jalen Bronson, he's good, and he got the heart and the will he could play, but it's kind of like, if you think about it, how LeBron was when he was with the Cavaliers the first time. You know what I'm saying? Until he came back a second time and had help. Looking at Allen Iverson, when he was over there with the 76ers, he could do it. He get them all the way every time, but, you know, whenever you get towards teams that play well together and they got at least 3 strong, solid players, you can't cover them all. Maybe you can do it for a quarter or two, and maybe you can do it for a game or two. But can they do it all the way to win 4 games? You know what I mean? That's my whole point. And I would like to see Knicks them take it, because reality is they are the underdogs. And I love rooting for the underdog. But this one, I'm not saying it can't be done. I know he knows. They know they got a task ahead of their hands. But that's the point. This is what the playoffs is about, man. This is what the finals are about. This is, you're playing the best of the best, you know? And that's why it's so interesting, you know what I mean? Let's see. No Hype says, Manny, salute. What up, what up, what up? So let's start with this Dame Dash situation first, and then we'll roll over to Durk's situation, and then we will close out with the Diddy situation. Hopefully everything still stays connected. Y'all let me know if audio and visual is okay. I will say this, disclaimer, it is raining in my area, so hopefully nothing happens, knock on wood, as far as like connection and all that stuff. So hopefully everything still holds up, because yeah, it has happened in the past, right? But I'm not going to speak that in existence. We're going to have a nice, smooth stream tonight. So let me share my screen here and get started on this Dame Dash situation, and then we will transition on to Mr. Smirk, a.k.a. Durk. Yeah, because he's looking at a lot of time, too. Actually looking at life, if I'm not mistaken, right? But don't quote me on that. So it says, Dame Dash warned by judge of possible arrest warrant amid mounting legal issues. Says Dame was recently reported to owe millions in judgments. And I'm assuming this, I thought with his civil stuff, you really can't do, but I think with his situation that Dame is really, and I'm not trying to take up for him, you know, is he broke compared to like me? No, I guarantee you his bank account probably looks better than mine. But at the same time, it's his debt to income ratio is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Dame could probably be sitting on what, 600,000. Let's just throw a magic number out there. He could be sitting on $600,000 like physical money, if not millions. But if you owe like quadruple that and you can't pay it, you know what I mean? That is considered like, you know, that ain't gonna, the math ain't mathing. And I'm assuming that whatever payment plan he's on, it ain't sticking. Dame Dash is one of those people, too, if you remind me, is like, to be honest, he's very outspoken. Is he smart? Yes, but he's had some businesses that did fail. And to be honest, ever since that whole Jay-Z and Dame Dash split, it ain't been great for Dame, dog. And I hate that, because Dame is one of the people I looked up as like one of the pioneers in hip-hop. But then again, you can arguably say, like, what did Dame Dash really do? But he put on a lot of groups, you know what I'm saying? Could Dame probably play an instrument? Probably not. And I don't know. Maybe he can. Can Dame, like, I don't know, how should I put this? Can he produce a song? Executive produce? Sure. Because if you think about executive produce, that means you come in at stuff that's already done and you tweak it, right? To the best of my knowledge, right? And a lot of people argue that, hey, executive producing and actually producing are totally 2 different things. They're like apples and oranges, right? So it says Dame Dash has been warned about a potential for an arrest warrant to be issued amid mounting legal issues. It says an order filed the last month listing Josh Weber and Muddy Water Pictures as plaintiffs and Dash and his Dame Dash Studios as defendants. U.S. Margaret Judge Robert W. Linghor granted a motion arguing that Dash has failed to comply with the discovery by May 9th. Per the order, Dash must comply with plaintiff's discovery request. Its appropriate action is not taken in its time specified. The order, viewed by Complex, states that an arrest warrant for Mr. Dash to bring him to court, respond to the discovery sought may be issued. But it's my thing, even if he gets arrested, they're going to just bring him to court. And I'm assuming Dame Dash, because think about it, he had an auction where he tried to sell off his partial of like, what, Rockefeller, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it even had like 2 like Rockefeller chains, but ultimately it wasn't worth it because after so many years, it was going to be a bust for a lot of people who did buy that, right? And then majority of that, even still, like I think the sale that even if he did sell it, majority of that went to what he owed in child support. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, family come first. I get it. And then whatever was left, Josh Weber and them got, you know, but obviously that probably didn't cover the judgment. Now, my thing is this, Dame Dash is such a businessman. You got to be able to bounce back, man. To be honest, like I would like to see him get another. But thing is, the thing about having business like Dame them, you got to have somebody. If Dame don't got the money, he's got to have where somebody's willing to invest in him, right? Somebody saying like, okay, cool, I'm going to get a return on my investment. We're going to let you be the front man. Kind of like if you think about how Diddy was with Ciroc when we thought he owned it all this time, when ultimately it was owned by somebody else, but he was the front man. And I'm pretty sure he had a great deal because he was obviously making great money. And Diddy had multiple business, kind of like if you think of like a Rick Ross. He said all the time, Rick Ross has said this before, like a lot of business he may not started, but he was like, he had a hand in it. He's got a percentage in it. And all that eventually can add up if the deals are structured correctly. Says, the order dated April 29th also mentions a appropriate forthcoming bankruptcy. So it looks like he's going to probably have to file for bankruptcy, and defense counsel's effort to withdraw from the case. As noted in a report from the New York Post, Dash has also been accused of destroying evidence and is estimated to owe millions in judgment. So that's one thing you can't really do is destroy evidence and or get caught of it because you can get in trouble for that. It says in March, Dame Dash was reported by facing a $4 million default judgment in the connection with a defamation lawsuit from Weber, who had alleged that the Rockefeller alum podcast remarks cost him a lucrative opportunity. 1 month earlier, Cameron shared his thoughts on Dash financial woes during his episode of his and Mace's It Is What It Is, while Cam expressed gratitude for Dame Dash having been a key figure along his journey. He was more critical of his alleged spending habits. So maybe Dame is got a bad habit for spending a lot of bread. It says Dame would be set for life if he knew how to manage his money, Cam said at the time. So maybe he's trying to say that Dame Dash doesn't really manage his money well, you know, but at the same time, Dame Dash has touched at one point, and I think we looked this up, Dame Dash was like worth right at $60 million. That's a lot of bread. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a quick little update on Dame Dash, man. Hopefully we don't see this brother in handcuffs. And to be honest, man, if he can show some form of he's trying to make the payment to the judge, I feel like they will work with him. He's got to show why he can't make the payments, but he also got to pay something, right? Case in point, it's kind of one of those, like, if you do get in situations like this where paying something versus nothing is better than nothing. Like, you can argue why you couldn't pay. You can argue that, hey, I paid this, but I didn't have the rest. You can't argue like I didn't have anything at all because you still eating in this and the third. You got to show that you can pay something. And they know deep down, man, probably not sitting on $0, man. So, I mean, I don't know. So we'll see how it goes for Dame Dash. Let's go ahead and transition on to Durk real quick. I know I'm moving kind of swiftly here, but I know the Diddy situation is probably going to take a minute. But let's talk Durk real quick for like 10, 15 minutes, and then we will go into Diddy's trial, and we will get an update from there. Again, y'all let me know if audio and visuals okay because everything is good, but I will say it is coming down outside, right? It says, Little Durk hit with a stalking charge in an ongoing murder for hire case. It says, the prosecution also denied the case was built around his lyrics, even though technically I seen it where they were trying to use a song that I don't think was officially released with him and Babyface Ray, saying that he had made this, the song was about what's going on with the murder for hire. But I watched his attorney. He's been doing interviews with Vlad. He's done an interview with Vlad, and you know Vlad, he chops it up to like 40, 50 pieces. And he has spoke on it, but not obviously nothing to incriminate Durk. Me personally, I wish that his attorney would not speak on the case at all. And I know he's probably speaking very like stuff that we already seen as public, right? But I will say this: that attorney, and I can't think of his name right now, but he has worked with the likes of Boosie. He's helped a lot of people. In fact, he helped who was it, YF and Lucci get out on the case. I think the baby, he's helped them. So the guy is very, very knowledgeable and he knows what he's doing. But I guarantee you, he charges yeah. They call him the $1 billion lawyer, and I bet that they call him that for a reason, because when these guys get in trouble, he makes things happen. But I'll put it this way. I've had 6 different attorneys throughout my lifetime, and I will say they just got more expensive over time. And the quote-unquote best attorneys or the good attorneys, they know they're good attorneys, and they're going to charge good attorney prices. Even the worst attorneys, I feel like, charge too much. But I will say this guy right here, and I think it's Drew Fenneling is his name. It just kind of came to me. Drew Fenneling, if I'm not mistaken, is his attorney's name. Those people now at the level of what he represents, you can Google him all day long and look up his offices all day long. But I hate to say it, homie probably only take the big name cases. He's one of those lawyers that probably you get recommended through XYZ. You can't just, you know what I mean? He ain't gonna, you know what I mean? He ain't, $2,000-$3,000 ain't probably gonna excite this man. You know what I'm saying? He's looking at $100,000 cases every day around the clock. You know what I'm saying? So just food for thought. And what we found out recently, that obviously Vlad doesn't do all his interviews for free. He doesn't pay everybody, but he's come out of his own mouth and said he's paid some of these people for attorneys. So if he said if they've been on there more than once, most likely they've been paid, you know? And that's okay. That's part of it. That's business. Because Vlad know he's getting the exclusive. He's going to chop it up. He's going to get the money back. I mean, so obviously he feels it's worth it. But it says Lil Durk is now facing a new charge of stalking result in death in his murder for hire case. The Chicago Tribune reports the prosecutors filed the new charge against Durk on May 1st via a superseding indictment. It also includes a superseding to their motion that opposes the reconsideration of Lil Durk's detention, along with a dismissal of Lil Durk's team accusing that the case is wrongly centered around his lyrics. Again, they got more than that. I don't know if that's going to stick, but at the same time, your job as the attorney, I feel like you got to try. You don't know. It doesn't hurt to try. That's your job. You're trying to find loopholes and stuff like that where people don't get it right. And I also want to throw this out there. If I'm not mistaken, Lil Durk's case is federal. It ain't state. Totally different ball game. If you look at YSN Lucci, YFN Lucci and YSL them case, that wasn't federal, that was state. So everybody said most likely the state case, those guys had a great chance. And to the best of my knowledge, I think everybody did get up off that RICO. You know what I'm saying? Some people took plea deals. Some people got off, you know, because certain people took plea deals. You know what I'm saying? Even I think YFN Lucci took a plea deal because he would only have to finish out the year, which is going to be like 3 months. And then he came home like late January. You know what I'm saying? Which ironically, off mode, but on mode, I would love to hear some music for YFN Lucci. I don't think he's dropped anything, to the best. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he's dropped any music since he's came home. I like listening to YFN Lucci. I listen to a lot of his old stuff. I think he's a very talented individual too. And I would like to see him, and this probably won't happen, but I would like to see him and Thug piece it up and do a song together. But I think they can't. I feel like limited in their creativity, they probably can't speak on what they want to speak on, because what they just been through for like the last, 2, 3, going on 3 years. I guarantee you they got so many great lyrics surrounding that, but they can't really speak on that, you know, because that's how the game goes, man. But it says, according to the prosecutors, the new charge alleges that the rapper ensured that the August 2022 killing of Lil Pub Robinson, a relative of rapper Quando Rondo, was carried out. Let's see where we at real quick. We got Slayer in the building. Says, what's up, Sneaker Squad? What up, Slayer? Y'all smash that like button as y'all come in and out for the kid. Really means a lot. Says Durk's family recently released a statement about their belief that his case was based on his lyrics being false evidence in the case. The recent developments in Durk's legal case have brought a harsh truth to light. The government presented false evidence to the grand jury to indict him. The statement issued on April 29th reads, "This isn't justice. That's a violation of various systems that's supposed to protect all of us." Which, I'm going to say this about the legal system, man. It's very simple, dog. It's supposed to be you're innocent until proven guilty. But lots of times, man, you're kind of like guilty until you're proven innocent. I've seen Charlamagne the Guy say this time and time again on the Breakfast Club. And I kind of see what he's coming from too, man. I've been in a situation like that too. You have to prove your innocence. And that's kind of not fair. Because I feel like if you're innocent until proven guilty, everybody should get bail to a certain extent. Now, I feel like with Durk's situation, I see why they're probably hesitant, because this is a lot of like death, talking about death. You know, like you don't know this, and I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form he was involved at all. You know, I've seen plenty of people speak on this and basically say like they don't really think he's involved like they think he is. You know what I mean? Again, he can rap about whatever. That don't mean that that's what that was. You know what I'm saying? But this all stems from that. If you think about it, because if this is Quando Run, to the best of my knowledge, or was getting the beats from pretty much one of Durk's people, which is obviously King Von. And then King Von, you know, we know Lil Tim, he protected his man Quando Rondo. And it kind of just stemmed down there. Keep in mind also, off mode but on mode again, Quando Rondo actually pled guilty to whatever case he had pending, and he's doing time, but he should probably be coming home by the end of the year, worst case scenario. So a lot of these guys are no stranger to doing time. You know what I'm saying? Like Durk, from what Drew Fenneling said from the Vlad interview, what I watched like yesterday and today, said that he's no complaining in there. He's surviving, he's doing what he got to do, and he's in good spirits. But I mean, that's what your attorney is supposed to say too, man. At the same time, you know, and let's just keep it 100. I don't know how much time Durk has done, but he's got several different mugshots that can float around on the internet. So clearly he's been in and out before too. And we won't get started on Quando. We won't get started on King Von's mugshots, because I think he's going tit for tat for like who is it? Pretty much Kodak, right? Let's just keep it real. Slayer says the diddler keeps on diddling. Everybody, it's a joke now. You know what I'm saying? People, that's jokes and stuff like that about Diddy. But at the same time, man, I don't know what he's guilty or not guilty of, but I just find it a little ironic that all this kind of supersedes and it's just one person. And you know what I mean? Their main star witness, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be Cassie, which, I mean, at the same time, we seen what happened, but this is supposed to be a totally different case than what happened from that video. And right now that they're doing jury selection, which I know I'm going to talk about it a little bit later, who's not seen that fooling around on the internet? Because that when that dropped on CNN, it pretty much broke the internet, man. He had to, look, that man literally apologized within 24 hours and settled out of court within like less than like 24 to 48 hours. If it dropped on Thursday or if it dropped on Wednesday, by Friday they had reached a settlement and it's supposed to be all gone. You know, point blank period. Because the video, there may be more context to it, but it's not worth what we cannot unsee. If you think about the Diddy situation with that Cassie video, and I hate to bring this up, ironically, off mode but on mode again, Chris Brown and Rihanna, right? You cannot unsee those photos, and that was going to be a hard situation for Chris Brown to explain. In my opinion, he's forever been, you know, I guess you can say, I'm gonna put it this way, Chris Brown is that dude and he's a legend, but he still misses out on a lot of great opportunities because of those images, right? Let's just keep it 100. And I love Chris Brown music. Off mode but on mode again, ironically, it's Chris Brown's birthday today. You know, don't tell me why, I just know, you know what I mean? I rock with Chris, man. He's very talented. If there was somebody I feel like that was a younger Michael Jackson, is him. You know what I mean? He's the GOAT. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to judge him off of something in the past where he was younger and they both were young and there was more to that story that obviously you just had to be there. and he did what he felt was best at the time for his career to get over that situation, because obviously he tried to move on from it, And I'm not trying to take up from anybody, because to be honest, they were like, well, you can say this about Diddy or Chris Brown interchangeably. You could be like, well, nobody should be putting their hands on nobody. This is true, but at the same time, you don't know the whole context of that situation. But I agree, at the end of the day, nobody should be putting their hands on anybody, but you just had to probably be there to understand why things led to what they did. And I'm not trying to give nobody an out, but I also know that at the end of the day, nobody's perfect, and we're all human at the end of the day. Let me get back to this Durk situation, and then we'll transition to this Diddy joint like 7:40-ish. I'm going to transition to the Diddy joint, probably 7:40-ish. So it says, Durk has always used lyrics to tell stories, to express pain, to heal, and yet those same lyrics are now being used against him. The statement continues, we refuse to stay silent as black artists continue to be criminalized for their creativity. Rap is art. Now, I think certain states, and I think California, actually, ironically, what I saw from the interview too, off mode but on mode again, Drew Finland says California is one of those states where technically I think they've got some type of stuff in play where they're not supposed to use lyrics against the artist. However, that's at a state level. This is a federal case. Different ball game when it comes to federal. State and federal are two different levels. And I'll use the wording that Drew Finneling said in the interview. This is Durk's attorney, right? He's also represented people like The Baby. He's represented pretty much, if I'm not mistaken, Boosie. He's represented YFN Lucci. And there's probably a plethora of other people I can go down the rabbit hole, but those are the ones that I can think off the top of my head. But one thing that he was saying, right, is to compare, how do you can compare pretty much state cases compared to federal cases is like, he said that the state cases are like middle school, high school level. Think of that. Like you know what I'm saying? That's when you're talking that's what you think about state. But he says now if you think about federal, that's more so like that's the big leagues. You're up there, you pretty much, you're doing college level type of, this is the big dogs. You know what I'm saying? Apples and oranges. You know what I'm saying? Middle school, high school, college is totally two different things, right? And that's just what he said out of his own mouth, if I'm not mistaken, or somewhere along those lines. And I could just be paraphrasing here, too. Keep in mind, too, I want to say this before I go any further. Whole Live from start to finish is all alleged and opinionated based. I wasn't there. I don't know anything. And this is just what I'm getting from reading from these articles and just giving my little bit of thoughts on it. But I don't know. For all I know, all these guys could get out. You know what I'm saying? Lil Durk's lawyer, Drew Finling, hopefully I'm saying it correctly, because that's what I literally says, recently spoke about RICO cases though Durk isn't facing one, because I don't think it's a RICO, it's a murder for hire charge. In an interview with DJ Academics, during the conversation, Finling was asked his thoughts about rappers getting hit with RICO charges, and he compared them to use steroids in baseball. Yep. He says, it made hitting a baseball easier, Finneling recalled. It just did. He says that's what RICO is. RICO is for the weak-legged prosecutors that scared of losing because they know it makes things easier because you don't have to prove those offenses. You just have to show a pattern of behavior. RICO to a prosecutor is steroids to a baseball player in the 90s. It just makes their job easier. Then you combine that with this crazy madness template in Fulton County, Georgia. So basically what he's saying with the RICO is all you got to show is that person was some way in shape or form had knowledge of it, involved of it. You know what I'm saying? He's saying like it's when they do a RICO case, it's kind of one of those, like it's almost kind of one of those, they got to guarantee something. You know what I'm saying? Or it's going to be very, very long and drawn out cases, man. And again, when we get on this Diddy situation, because I think his is actually RICO. Now, I want to say Durk's is not RICO. That's the difference. Finland claimed that all the cases follow the same playbook and refers to the music industry-centered cases as BS. Says the reason why, at least in the music industry, it is such BS and so unfair, he said, look at some of those overacts, right? He says, a picture. I mean, I would literally be a picture at a gas station. So a client goes to their old neighborhood, takes a picture, and now they're going back there, and the Instagram picture is, overact to support a RICO allegation. Durk is set to have a hearing on May 8th, which should be sometime this week to the best of my knowledge. So the 8th, we're on the 5th, so just in a few days here, Durk is going to have a hearing to determine if he is able to be released from jail before his trial, which, I mean, I hope so. He's offered like a very, like, pretty much very expensive package, like bail package is what I'm trying to get at, right? And even still, the judge has to accept it. And that's just what it could be or could not be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope Durk does get bail because he has what, like 6, 7 kids. I think his dad hasn't been long got out. He wants to reconnect with his father. He has a lot going on. And to be honest, another reason too why you can let these guys get out is for his job, he obviously has to work. So I think like it would be easier if you can put him to some form of like, you know, house arrest and let him make music and let him continue to do what he needs to do to be able to help pay his attorney to have them put up the best case. But again, because it's harder to work from behind bars. Can it be done? Yes. Thugs dropped him out behind bars. I'm pretty sure Diddy's still doing business from behind bars too and calling the shots. But at the same time, when you're in jail, right? Recently just went through this, right? And don't ask me, I don't go into details, but yeah, I recently just went through something similar to this. When you talk to somebody who's locked up, like it before the call even connects, it gives you like a 20, 30-second reading of how much this is. No three-way calling. You can't, and there's no, like, there you shouldn't be doing three-way calling, and, or, there shouldn't be, like, it's letting you know that it's all recorded. So it's literally, once you get behind bars and under like custody like this, anything you can and say over that phone can be used against you in a court of law. So you got to watch how you speak over the phone, man. And I know he's got to be calling and checking up on his family. You know what I'm saying? So that's just one thing you got to keep in mind. Looks like we got Tina Presley in there. Says, Diddy gonna get to see a bunch of his friends after all these months, just not on good grounds. I'm pretty sure Diddy's finding out who his real friends are and who they aren't. Now, one thing I will say this, and we're about to transition to the Diddy case here in like 3 minutes. He's finding out who his real friends are, right? But at the same time, I don't kind of blame some of those people kind of keeping their distance, because what's the last thing you want to do is trying to be there for your homie or trying to be there and supportive, and then they throw you up on the case and make things worse. You know what I'm saying? And Diddy has a lot of kids too, like Durk. Long Beach says, pause. Long Beach says, yep. They let you know all the parameters of that call, most definitely. And I know personally, right? So again, you got to watch what you say on that. It says, Lil Durk's lawyer says BS RICO cases or steroids for the weak prosecutors, which we kind of just read that part right here. So this is May 2nd. Lil Durk's family recently issued a statement calling the use of his lyrics against him. And again, I don't think they should use lyrics, but then again, I kind of see where some things where they be like, you gotta use it. You know what I mean? But that don't necessarily mean the lyrics are necessarily true. One thing that a lot of rappers and stuff have been trying to be saying is a lot of their stuff is fabricated. And some of them are overly fabricated to make the flow or the music or the song better. You know what I'm saying? Just because you rap about doing XYZ don't mean you actually did it. Because there are those rappers out there where you know for a fact they didn't live none of their lifestyle. And I'll give you a good example. Off mode but on mode, rapper Plies back in the day, what he was rapping about versus when we found out what happened when somebody pulled up on him, which I'm not knocking Plies for getting out the way and not getting caught up, because at the end of the day, yeah, he went in, he defended himself. And Jamie Foxx told a story where they had homie hiding in the bathroom, yo. Hey, if you outnumbered, you outnumbered. You know what I'm saying? We got Long Beach says, watch how you talk on those phones. Facts. Exactly. Honestly, it's best to keep it simple right there. And if you're smart, don't talk about your case at all unless it's your attorney. In fact, it'll let you know if you're an attorney, it's a different number that it will redirect you to where you can talk to your attorney, where those I feel like aren't supposed to be recorded. But that's you get a whole different other line. There is an option for that because it'll tell you press 1 for here. If your attorney press this. And then it's a different set of rules. Now, I'm not an attorney, so I never press the other button. It says, Drew Finley, a lawyer known for representing Lil Durk and other high-profile clients, liken RICO cases to steroids for weak-legged prosecutors. In new interview during a sit-down with DJ Academics, Finding was introduced as one of the big three when it comes to a lawyer. During the conversation, Finley was asked about the display of the recent RICO cases involving rap artists. At that point, Finley connected his issue to impact steroids used had the world to baseball. So he broke it down kind of what it is, and then I'm gonna just transition to Diddy here in like the last little bit because I don't read this whole thing because we kind of already kind of cover it. So pretty much I do want to just get just a glimpse of what this is. He says it made hitting we read that part already from the previous article. It says, according to Finley, these types of cases, regardless whether involve rap artists or a former president, are following the same playbook. They drive home artist point. He zeroed in on music industry centered cases, noting what he sees as BS approach. He says the reason why it's in the music industry is such BS and so unfair. He said, look at some of those overacts. We read that part kind of in the previous one. It says, as Durk's murder for hire, his family shared that we read that part. And so pretty much I think this is going to cover Durk's situation. It says the recent development in Durk's legal case have brought a harsh truth to light. The government presented false evidence to a grand jury to indictment. So we kind of covered everything for Durk, and we're about to transition on to this Diddy situation. I think I'm going to start on what to know as a jury selection, right? Okay, we're going to go here with Diddy because I have a feeling this one could probably take the last 15 minutes of my time here. Appreciate y'all for being active in the chat and showing up for Music Monday as always too. Where we at real quick? Long Beach says Plies got body slammed on stage too by a fan and no one did anything about. Yeah, I remember that. Like, all honesty, that one was funny because he was talking sideways to homie with the mic and the security guards just was sitting back letting them. The security should have been pushed that guy off the stage. And to be honest, Ply should have been, as that guy was coming on stage, he should have been back and back. He could smoothly walk back without running. You know what I mean? So that one right there, he did get body slammed on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I remember that one too. That was kind of funny. But let's talk this Diddy trial real quick. It says, what to know as the jury selection begins. It says, as Diddy trial begins, we take a look at the key questions about the case. And this is from May 5th. So pretty much this is today right here. It says, Diddy federal racketeering and ex-trafficking trial, and I'm saying it like that on purpose for YouTube purposes, and I've been getting away with it, so we good right now. It says, it's underway in New York. The Bad Boy Records founder has remained in prison since his arrest last September, though not without several attempts at a successful argument for an early release. It says, in the days leading up to the start of the jury selection in the case, court filings revealed that Diddy had made some additions to his legal team. Below complex talks about at what you need to know as this much discussed case begins. So I think he's up to 8 attorneys now deep, right? So Diddy's trying his very best to win and get free. It says, what is Diddy charged with? So we kind of already know this, but let's just go down the rabbit hole here. Diddy has been accused of ex-trafficking, racketeering, and transporting to engage in prostitution. Says, as alleged in an indictment for years, Sean Combs used the business empire he controlled to actually abuse and export ex-pilot women, as well as commit other acts of violence and obstruction of justice, U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said when first announcing the initial indictment in September. Today, he is charged with racketeering and ex-trafficking offenses. If you have been a victim of Combs' alleged abuse, or if you know anything about his crimes, we've urged you to come forward. The investigation is far from over. Now, I will say this. Diddy has been hit with a lot of civil cases too, but to be honest, when they messed those people, what messed up the civil side of thing for those people who got cases with Diddy, and I know not all of them have been dropped, but when they tried to add Jay-Z onto that one, and Jay-Z fought it and he won that one, so that's making a lot of that. I don't even think Diddy the last thing on his mind is worried about those civil cases right now. This is the big boy case. You know what I'm saying? It says, how long is the trial expected to last? Says jury selection begins Monday, May 5th. Opening statements are slated for a week later, May 12th. The widely held assumption is the trial will continue for 8 weeks, possibly longer. So 8 weeks, that's a total of 2 months. But that's after what? Probably the jury selection. So they're saying jury selection could take up to 2 weeks. And then it's going to be another 8 weeks for the trial. So we're looking at a total of 10 weeks. That's 2 months and like 2 weeks. And it could be longer. Said possibly longer. Especially if other stuff come up and his attorneys want to, present other things, and or the prosecutor want to present other things too, because it can work on both sides. It says, how much jail time is Diddy facing? Racketeering conspiracy carries a maximum sentence of life in prison, as does trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. The latter carries a mandatory minimum of 15 years for transportation for purposes of prostitution. Diddy is looking at a maximum possible sentence of 10 years. Put another way, Diddy could end up being sentenced to decades behind bars or life if convicted as charged. So I guess if say he got convicted, which I don't want that to happen, minimum, I want to say he could be looking at 10 years probably if the judge goes light on him and let all that stuff run concurrent. But if they let them run like stacked on top of each other, he could be doing life. And that's a long time. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, life. I mean, it is what it is. And yes, I've seen people, and if you're bored, I've watched videos where people have they actually did complete and serve their life sentences, and if they got eligible for parole and got out, they didn't want to come out because they had been down there, so they couldn't survive in the real world anymore. Granted, this ain't Diddy's situation because Diddy's got, he's been around and been a free man for quite some time. It says, is Cassie going to testify? Yes, in April, it was reported that Cassie, who previously accused Diddy of R in a quickly settled 2023 lawsuit, was prepared to testify under her own name as one of Diddy's alleged victims. The 2016 hotel assault surveillance footage, meanwhile, has remained a source of the disagreement between the two sides in the case. So obviously, I think they're going to let that ride on in there. I don't think it's fair considering how he settled that one. If it's settled, it's supposed to be settled. But same time, I think it's a different case when it's federal versus state. I feel like if this was a state case, then they would have probably threw the video. They probably couldn't use it as evidence. So I don't know. And I think obviously question 2, everybody want to ask, and if you're like me, who hasn't seen that video? So it's going to be very hard picking jury selection. It says, what has Diddy said about the allegations? Diddy has repeatedly denied the allegations against him in response to superseding indictment in March. For example, Mark Afingio, an attorney for Diddy, reiterated his client's past statements. Mr. Combs has said it before and will say it again. He vehemently denies the allegations made by the SDNY, which is pretty much, I'm assuming that's something New York. He said that the time, he says, looks forwarding to his day in court when it will become clear that he has never forced anyone to engage in actual acts against their will. Many former employees stand by his side, prepared to attest to the dedication, hard work, and inspiration they experienced while helping build groundbreaking, award-winning businesses. So this is my thing. Diddy, I think it ain't no secret where he has been known that, he's the guy really can, he likes to get busy. I mean, the guy has a total of 8, 9 kids. But at the same time, if none of these people were forced, I don't see what we got here. And I think this is another attorney. Diddy adds attorney to his team of Eve trial. So pretty much this is from May 2nd. It says Xavier Donaldson will join the crew of lawyers defending the mogul. Diddy is adding members of his already stacked legal team just days before jury selection in his federal racketeering and trafficking trial, and identify of them as been announced. In a court hearing Thursday, May 1st, the mogul's lawyer announced that he would be adding 2 people to their ranks before the jury begins Monday, May 5th. A document filed federal court on Friday, May 2nd, and viewed in complex reveals that Xavier Donaldson, according to the LinkedIn profile, Donaldson now is independent, spent over 2 decades until April 2024 as a firm he co-founded. Donaldson and Chilius, original Donaldson, Chilius, McDonald. So it says, while there be rep clients, they see charged with complex federal and state cases involving murder and intentional national and local narcotic conspiracies fraud. So this is giving the background of Xavier, the guy that he has on there, right? Okay. So again, Diddy's having the best of the best. Like I said, I think he's up to 8 attorneys right here. And then I'm just going to read the last little part of this article, and then we'll wrap up here for the things for the night. Going to be on this joint for like another 5 minutes or so. So y'all bear with the kid. Just want to give all the updates that I possibly can, because this one right here, what I find, I think the reason it's not being televised now, people can show up to the trial until it's full or whatever. You kind of get there early. But the reason it's not being broadcast like Thug them, because I think because it's a federal case and it's probably being asked not to be publicized or something like that. I think the state cases, they can do it, but federal, I don't think they put those on. You know, that's why you see all these little artworks of Diddy's and stuff like that. It's a different ball game. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's definitely a different ball game. So this is from May 5th. It says, Diddy extradition trial is set to begin today, May 5th, with jury selection. The Bad Boy Records founder has been held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn since he was first arrested last September last year after being denied bail on multiple occasions. Says jury selection for the highly publicized case is expected to last around a week, with opening statements tentatively scheduled for May 12th, which we kind of just covered that. It says it is then thought that the actual trial will last between 8 to 10 weeks. So again, could be longer. They're looking at 8 weeks here, but I have a feeling that they're going to try to throw the whole playbook at this. And if I had to guess, and I'm not there, but if I had to guess, his attorneys are going to be trying to get this joint dismissed as much as possible. And if they get it dismissed on grounds where they don't have sufficient evidence, then they may appeal it in this and the third. But it's going to be hard. If you think of even YNW Melly's situation, which we ain't heard no updates on that in a while, right? My thing with Melly, right? I think eventually, if they don't have nothing to stick, then I think even the judge will get to the point where he's like, y'all going to have to either, I'm going to grant him bail or we're going to have to figure something out. Because keep in mind, it was a mistrial, which means they have to do it all over again. And Melly's been holding it down for quite some time too, which I need to do an update on Melly. But to be honest, I haven't been hearing too much about it. I know he's been going to court, but it's kind of been just one of those long, drawn-out situations. But back to the Diddy situation real quick before we wrap things up here for like the last 3 minutes of the live. It says, Diddy has pled not guilty to all counts and has repeatedly insisted that all X activity was consensual. So what Diddy is saying, like all the stuff they're saying, like these people knew what they were going up and knew what the party was about. And this is my thing, and I've said this before too, right? My thing is this: unless a person was only there one time, then, you know, if you went back on multiple occasions and he didn't force you and he just asked you, but you still pulled up, then yeah. Even if you're going to get Cassie to testify, right? Even after that video, right? And I don't know the whole gist or whatever. My question is this, right? To the best of my knowledge, even after that video dropped and even when that video happened or that whole situation happened, they didn't break up immediately after that. I think she still stuck around for a few more years, if I'm not mistaken. You know? Just questions you got to ask. And I know that's what his attorneys are going to break down, you know? Just food for thought. And I know this, well, he's offered this, that, and the third. You still don't have to stay, you know? Says, we read that part. Where we at real quick. Diddy recently won the right to dress as he pleases in court rather than wear prison overalls. The record executive petitioned that the court to be allowed to wear a suit throughout the trial. Per court documents, Diddy has been granted permission to have 5 button-down shirts, 5 pairs of pants, and 5 sweaters, 5 pairs of socks, and 2 pairs of shoes without laces to wear to court. So I'm assuming he can't wear the laces because they don't want him, I guess. I would assume, right? And I'm not saying Diddy would ever do this, but like, you know, I guess people think people get creative and tie these shoestrings in a certain loop lace and you could choke yourself out, you know, strangle yourself. Maybe he wants to, you know, you're definitely under a lot of eyes when you're looking at stuff like this too, man. It says during the various hearings Diddy has been forced to attend in the lead up to the trial, the record executive has been seen wearing his prison uniform. Diddy also turned down a plea deal from the government in favor of taking his case to trial. During a recent hearing, Diddy was asked by the judge if he had rejected a plea deal from the prosecutors, which the rapper and producer replying, "Yes, I did." So he's letting them know he's taking it to trial, which again, it's one of those, it's expensive. When you go trial by jury, by the way, fun fact, right? Don't ask me how I know, but I know for a fact, when it's trial by jury, it's one of the most expensive cases you can have if you're going to have an attorney on your team. So I know for a fact, those are like 6-figure cases. Diddy's got 8 different attorneys to the best of my knowledge, allegedly. Think about that. Definitely millions. So the thing about this, all the money that he couldn't get out on bail, he's probably just going to throw it all to the attorneys if they can get him the best possible outcome. I'm going to read the last little part of this and we're going to wrap things up here. It says, he also accepted that the decision could lead to a lengthier prison sentence if he was found guilty by the jury. It was not revealed what the terms of the offer were. Diddy had claimed that he simply goes by the swinger lifestyle as he defends himself from ex-trafficking allegations. It says his lawyer, Mark, which that's who we said, Mark Alfino said, this is a lifestyle called it swingers or whatever you will, that he thought was appropriate because it was common. Many people think it's appropriate because it's common, which, to be honest, I've heard about this swinger stuff. No, I've never been involved, right, in any swingers, but I have heard of people, people have like on the weekend or whatever day, they get together and there's certain drugs that like, I guess get people like in the mood or what have you. They have a whole bunch of that around and people pull up with their husband and wives and they like swap around and do whatever. Now, me personally, I wouldn't do that, but I mean, to each their own. Again, from what I hear about it, and I think there hasn't been much like people getting in trouble for because it's all mutual. Now, again, I've also seen it where some people have tried to have those type of parties and people didn't know that type of party was going down. But ultimately, those people would see what's going down, and if they wanted to leave, they usually let them leave. It's kind of one of those like they didn't care if you said something or not because think about it. It usually be like 1 or 2 people that leave, and then like maybe 4 or 5 people that's like, honestly, you're gonna come across looking like the one that's different, and it's like, ew, I didn't know they were into that. Oh well, each their own. Because the reason you can't really, or why people don't really run to the police per se, as well as like, well, they all pretty much were in agreement to doing that. You know what I'm saying? And that's maybe what Diddy's trying to get at here. Like that lifestyle that he did, maybe that's everybody, to the best of his knowledge, everybody was there wanted to be there. Prosecutors also lobbied up to the judge to allow them to use the testimony of the alleged victim who claims they underwent a medical procedure that has a connection to the ex-trafficking allegations. Prosecutors did not reveal the nature of the procedure, and the judge has not yet ruled on whether the testimony will be allowed. So pretty much that's going to be wrapping it up for Diddy here. Let me get myself back on the main screen. We're going to get ready to wrap this thing up here for Music Monday. I've been on this joint for like an hour. So here he is, man. Diddy trial has begun and is going through jury selection. Very, very interesting how they're going to get the jury selected. And again, we'll probably get updates from like people that's been in the courtroom. But as far as cameras, I think that's over with. Again, probably going to be at best 2 to 3 months before we figure out a decision if the case doesn't get dismissed and or mistrial like Melly. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of things too, because it could still be a mistrial, you know? And I know one thing, those attorneys for Melly was really pushing for a mistrial or the case to be dismissed at any grounds they could find it on, right? And I think Diddy's them attorneys are going to be looking for stuff like that too. That's the point of your attorney too. They're supposed to they're supposed to make sure everything is done legally and find where if there's any loopholes if there are any holds or something where the prosecutors mess up, that's where your attorneys are supposed to be there to hold you down. So that wraps up for Diddy, man. And then also Durk situation, more to come on that as well. And yeah, so pretty much I think that's going to wrap up the live. So we talked about Durk, we talked about Diddy, and of course we did a small update on Dame Dash as he could be put in handcuffs here, but I don't think he's going to get any jail time. But he, has been going through some rough times as well. But hopefully, man, he's able to bounce back. And all these guys, if they didn't do it, well, Dame Dash, yeah, man, hopefully nothing but the best for you. But as far as Durk and Diddy, if you didn't do it, man, I wish y'all nothing but free. And if you did, you got to go with come with the game. But I don't know. I'm assuming these guys, they're saying they're innocent, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, man, I've been on the joint for an hour and 4 minutes. Let's wrap this thing up here for the night. Appreciate everybody for coming through and showing love. Y'all definitely smash the like button. Sub to the channel if you're new, and if you haven't done so already, of course, y'all know my name is Jeremy Jones, and what I normally do is make content about sneakers, occasional trying hauls, and y'all know we got Music Monday, which is today. I'll be back live again on Wednesday with another Sold Out Live, another Sold Out podcast. But until then, y'all smash the like button, sign up for that Sold Out Discord, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. And yeah, more content on the way, and I am officially out this thing, man. Peace.
December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash while I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash while I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. but my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash while I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights, my heart is cold.